Right, everybody. Back with Daredevil Born Again, episode 3. And spoilers, hardly any action in it. It's running on the little bit of action at the beginning, a little bit of action at the end. But on this one, it's really little bit at the beginning and really little bit at the end. But anyway, I'll get on with it. So, starts off where Matt visits White Tiger in cells and he brings him some food for him and that. But White Tiger is a bit depressed and that and doesn't want to eat out. And then talks about a beach where he used to be at and that with a tree frog that did a croaking call, which, spoilers, at the end, it brings it up. It's a bit confusing until you realise, oh yeah, he's talking about this tree frog. Well, Matt says he'll soon be back on that beach and that, listening to the tree frogs and that. Well, then you see, like, two dudes in a lorry slash truck or a lorry truck, and they get sort of ambushed and that by some other dudes and that, and so they hand over the keys and that and the wallets, and one of the dudes gets a bit cheeky and he's like, oh, do you know who we are? Because he's part of one of the families, but the other dude's part of one of the families, and spoilers, the families are at war, sort of thing. And because, like, he got a bit cheeky, said, the dude executes them both and that. So, yeah. Then it's on to talk on the street sort of stuff and that, where talking about how bad the crime is and that. Then Fisk and Mrs. Fisk are, like, talking, and then the PR, sort of like public relations sort of person, comes in and tells Fisk about the truck shooting and that. Says it's like hijack gone wrong, and says it looks bad on the city and that. So Fisk says that the commissioner needs to, like, get involved in that and see what's going on. And then Fisk's wife, after the PR person leaves, Fisk's wife says it's the families at each other and that. And then Fisk, he says that they can kill each other for all he cares. Like, he ain't bothered. And then Mrs. Fisk says, but the last one standing, though, is going to be wanting to, like, go after sort of the kingpin. She didn't say kingpin, but she said you. So, but she was replying that, yeah, they're going to want to take down the kingpin in the end. But Fisk is not concerned. And you see Fisk with Gray's knuckles again. And then you see someone washing the Gray's knuckles, but it's not Fisk. It's Matt. And he's, like, washing them sort of thing, probably making sure they don't get infected and that. And then the cop comes in, that he did survive, because, as I say, I didn't see this episode when I give the review number 2, and I haven't seen episode 4 yet, so I'm doing the reviews for see it. Anyway, the cop comes in, talks about how Matt, like, for a blind dude can kick ass or whatever and that, and says Matt's interfering with a case and that. Well, Matt says the cop is trying to stop a witness from testifying, so it's a stalemate in that. And then it's sort of like, yeah, and you walk sort of like out and that sort of. Well, Matt walks out anyway, but they'll probably walk out. Yeah, left at that. But Matt says that like he'll see him in court and leaves before he leaves. Just just to give him the old yeah. Um, I'm still on this case. You're not able to like get me off this case. Well then, you see the detective dude is walking down the street and that, and like there's a pretty good um, graffiti picture of the Punisher. So, but I don't know if it is the Punisher's or it's someone else's sort of like Punisher. But anyway, it got triggered on. So, well, he's going to a safe house where he talks to his colleague about the place and that, and it's been a bit too relaxed and chill because there's loud music on and that. Where you see why it's a safe house because the dude who like what is the witness from the train station platform, he's there having a bit of cold turkey and that, as in like feeling the side effects from the withdrawal of I think it's heroin. I'm not sure because they don't really say. But anyway, the detective he's got himself a little bit of heroin just to stop him from puking up and shaking and that and shitting himself or whatever, you know. Which like the dude like yeah he's like real grateful. Well then it comes to the cop testifying and that, and he's saying he's a role model for the cops and that he's like a super cop. Don't take no fucking. He works on Christmas Day. Don't have any fucking time off and all this shit. And he talks about the night of the incident with the death of his mate and that, and says that White Tiger pushed him like it was nothing, trying to make out like White Tiger got super strength at this stage, where the prosecuting judge was all over it. Like, oh, you say, yeah, like nothing. He pushed you like nothing. Well, anyway, and Matt, he gets his turn to like question the witness and that, and the cop, Officer Powell, he asks about anyone else. Matt asks Officer Powell if there was anyone else on the train station that night, where the cop, Officer Powell, he says no, where obviously, because if you've seen episode 1, you know there was that witness dude there. So obviously he's lying. Well, anyway, with him saying no, there wasn't anyone there, Matt then asks about a witness being an informant called Nicky Torres, which is the dude who was there that like White Tiger stopped from the two cops harassing him. Well, the cop denies not even knowing him. He's like, no, I've never heard of him. So, like, really lying because, like, spoilers, it turns out Nicky Torres was his informant. But anyway, um, then after the questioning, as Matt's sort of like sitting down, he hears another cop with the title of like Punisher thing, which I don't know if it's the Punisher or it's a joint group of Punisher because he's got something on the forehead. I don't know if it's the same. But anyway, Matt hears him whisper to like his mate that Nicky Torres can't testify. They can't let him testify in that. So then it cuts to where the detective mate, he's got the witness, Nicky Torres, whatever his name is, fucking, and his mate, sort of like gonna get into a van and that, where the detective dude, he's packing, he's got a piece, so he knows it might get a bit hectic. Well, anyway, then like as they're driving down, well, the detective's driving, like noticed that there's people following him, where a bit of a few turns and roundabouts later, a cop on a bike drives in front of his van to stop him and that, where you see sort of like back to the courtroom where the judge asks whether the witness is going to show, because Matt said he's got like a witness arriving. Well, Matt says, oh yeah, he's going to arrive soon and that. Well, then the cop searches the van, but there's no Nicky Torres there, or his mate and that. And then it cuts to where you see Nicky and the detective's mate step out of a taxi outside the courtroom and sort of like just walk into the court and that. Well, then in the courtroom, Nicky takes the witness stand, but he admits to being an informant to the cops, but says he was not at the train station platform that night, but he was at home. So he proper like fucking had been got to, you know. He's not fucking grassing up the fucking cops and that. Well, anyway, Matt's got no fucking other choice but to like withdraw the witness, as in like say no, yeah, well, that that wasn't exactly what he told me, but so like yeah, forget he said that. And the witness, um, White Tiger, looking in a bit of sort of gutted with the outcome and that. And then Fisk's um, PR dude, even though he's probably not as much of a PR dude as he is for like the mob, because there's a bit of a family meeting where he tells them that they're getting too aggressive and too noisy and too crazy and doing too crazy killings and that, and it's looking bad on the city and that, and so they need to stop it, and like they need to stop it that day and all. Well, one of the family members says that they don't take orders from him and that, but he pays another member some money that he was owed from that job that like got um, robbed and that. So he paid him the money that, and so he he's down two men, but he's still got the money, or whatever money he'd have had for whatever he was delivering and that. Well, the other dude though, he like says he's not stopping, but for the mayor sort of thing. But then the PR dude says he's not working for the mayor; he's working for the man. Now, whether he means Kingpin or Mrs. Fisk is a bit like I'm not quite sure at this stage, but he's definitely saying like he's still running with the sort of head Fisk sort of corporate. So don't it's it's not a request. is He's sort of like telling them to stop, or else they'll probably be ending up dead, sort of thing. Well, um, then the detective Matt and Foggy too talk about the witness not being as good of a witness as I thought it had been, and with him not like telling the true story and that. And then Fisk and Mrs. Fisk talk about how she paid the family members off to stop warring and that. And Fisk is all right with it because he's like, okay, then yeah, I guess you know it saves going around and bombing their base or whatever. Well, then White Tiger takes the stand, talking about what happened that night and that, and like he pretty much says like he was just minding his own business and he saw like two dudes roughing up another dude, so he went in and helped, you know. Well, anyway, Matt running out of ideas and that suddenly brings out the White Tiger mask and tells everyone that Hector is called Hector. Some I forget his, but he tells everyone that Hector is White Tiger and that. And then the judge like bangs his gavel, stops the proceedings and that, like, and orders both lawyers into his chamber and that, where he proper rips into like Matt, because Matt did want the judge to keep it a secret that Hector was White Tiger, and now Matt's gone against it and sold him on it, and so the judge he's like thinks he's getting like judges don't like getting messed around and that, so like yeah, he's proper like giving Matt loads of grief and that. And says like the case is going to go on though, and the prosecuting lawyer says that Matt is going to get into a load of shit in that for like doing that. Oh, he's going to get his client into a load of shit and fucking yeah. Well, I think it's just mind games, you know. It's one of them where he's trying to psych Matt out. But anyway, then it goes to talking on the street, where a bit more talking and that shit. And then Hector, he's not happy that Matt told everyone about him being White Tiger, but Matt says it was a last ditch sort of effort, no other measures he could muster up with, and so he had to like go for it. Hector can't be White Tiger no more though. Matt told him. Now he knows. Now people know he's White Tiger. He can't be White Tiger no more. Which White Tiger's not happy because he says it's his calling, and so yeah, he's a bit disappointed with Matt. Well then Matt's got witnesses giving statements on White Tiger about them being in trouble, and then White Tiger coming and helping them or saving them and that shit. So character witnesses to say like, oh yeah, White Tiger does good for like people and that. Because then Matt sort of like uses this to like say, would White Tiger kill a cop? And Matt saying like, no, he wouldn't because he helps cops and all that. Where he did have a few cops that did say, yeah, White Tiger helped me out and that shit. Well, the prosecuting lawyer, he's like, because he's supposed to be like one of the best lawyers that money can buy, sort of thing. So he comes up and says, like, just because you do good things doesn't mean you can't do bad things. So he's saying, yeah, just because White Tiger's helping people doesn't mean he can't kill innocent people, which is um, technically true. But, you would think, well, if he's helping cops, would he kill a cop unless the cop was a crooked cop and not telling them there was a cop when they were harassing there? But anyway, back to the story. So, um, it goes to where Matt's just sat in an empty courtroom, and that way it's like gone for recess sort of thing where they're all like deciding now. I didn't know. I thought it could have been a 2 or 3 day trial. Whilst that was the end of day one, but no, it's all happening in one day. Uh, in if not in one day, in like one court sitting, because they start playing like Enya music and that really sort of like the music that does get played on Daredevil sort of thing. Well, anyway, this bit it was like just wasting time. Honestly, it was like, what is with this? This is why I'm a bit like, the bit, the bit me paying off some in because the action is like getting going now. But anyway, um, well, the judge asked for like the jury if they come to a decision and that, where they said, yeah, we have and that. So Matt and White Tiger stand up and that, where they read out that he's not guilty on all three, well, in first, second, and third degree murder, which first degree I think is means intent, as in you try you was out there wanting to kill him. Second degree, I think that's sort of like manslaughter, where you killed them but you didn't mean to kill them. And third degree, um, I don't know, a third degree might be manslaughter. But anyway, the jury believed his story, which you don't see that the cop did run at him and he tripped the cop himself. White Tiger just sort of like moved out the way. He did not trip or throw the cop on there. So yeah, he's a free man and that. And White Tiger's happy with his decision and that. And yeah, the judge says like you're a free man, you can go. Where they go out and the press sort of like ask him a bit about cop killing that. But anyway, Matt's not too bothered. He's like, yeah, well, my client's a free man, sort of shit. And then you see Fisk, he's watching this on TV, and after he sees that like White Tiger gets found not guilty, he wants to talk with that journalist Baird who he had a talk with last week, sort of thing. Well, anyway, goes to where Matt's cooking for his bed and that, and they have a like celebratory drink and they talk about Foggy and that shit. Fucking lovey dovey shit. Well, then Fisk, when he's talking to the reporter bed, that he, she's like, friend of one of his PR persons, so got him, got us straight away, sort of thing. Fisk says like the verdict on the White Tiger case and that was wrong, and that where then you see sort of like White Tiger, he's getting dressed up in his White Tiger sort of costume with his emelet and everything, and you know he's going out for some vigilante shit. He's not going to a party because spoilers. You see it later on. He's on the streets, but Fisk. Then it goes to like Fisk, where he's talking about how vigilante is really bad and it needs to be controlled and everything. Then you see White Tiger on the streets and that, where he hears this scream, so he goes to like investigate, sort of like see what's happening. But boom, he gets shot, and it's in the head. So like last week episode, I didn't know if the cop survived, but I don't know if he survived. I don't think he did. I don't know. He got shot in the head, but because I haven't seen episode 4, I don't know. He might have been wearing a metal helmet, but no, I think he's supposed to be dead. Because well, anyway, the dude who shoots him though starts to walk to the camera, and you see he's wearing a Punisher t-shirt. And is it the Punisher? I don't think it is, because I don't think the Punisher would shoot White Tiger. I think it's a cop or a crooked cop pretending to be some part of a Punisher sort of thing. But I don't know because I haven't seen episode 4 and that. And then ends with like a croaking sort of like sounds like a creaking door sort of thing, but it's the tree frog thing. Yeah, and then it ends. So yeah, I'll be hopefully reviewing episode 4 soon and that. So thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.